If you're moving to Tampa Bay and someone recently told you, oh my gosh, you have to look at Land O'Lakes, and now suddenly it feels like every relocation Facebook group, every realtor, neighbor's cousin is now talking about Land O'Lakes. Okay, we need to talk about Land O'Lakes because there's a reason this area is suddenly exploding in popularity. And honestly, it's not just the hype. In fact, Land O'Lakes was recently named actually the hottest suburb or neighborhood in America, according to Redfin, which has caused a lot of people to go, wait, what? Land O'Lakes, Florida? And if you're not from here, you're probably wondering, what am I missing? Why are people moving there? Is it affordable? What kind of housing do you actually get in Land O'Lakes, Florida? How far is it from Tampa? Are the schools any good? And this is one of those places where everybody suddenly moved because TikTok told them that they had to. So in this video, I want to give you the real story about Land O'Lakes. The good, the trade-offs, who it's perfect for, and who maybe should look somewhere else. And why, honestly, I completely understand why people are flocking there. Let's talk about this for just a second. And actually, funny timing, I literally just got home from a couple hours at Spanky's Bar and Grill in Land O'Lakes with my son and some of our friends doing trivia. And yes, we won. You're welcome. Apparently, our team has a very concerning amount of knowledge about random 90s music and completely useless facts that no adult should ever remember. So if you're wondering if Land O'Lakes actually has a community and local places where people know each other and hang out, yes, it does. And honestly, that's one of the things that people miss when they're online looking at neighborhoods. You can look at the houses all day long on Zillow. You can stare at realtor.com, but lifestyle, the community, the feeling of the place, that's harder to see until you're actually in it. And Land O'Lakes has this interesting mix of suburban convenience with newer developments. There's families, there's local businesses, and there's still a feeling of a little bit more relaxed, but also still being close to Tampa. So now, why is everyone moving there? First, there's really 4 reasons. Number 1, people feel like they can get more house for their money. And this is huge because if someone relocates here and starts shopping closer to Tampa, say South Tampa, which is very close to downtown Tampa, or an area called West Chase or Carrollwood, or even parts of Lutz, there's going to be some sticker shock and it shows up fast. If you look at South Tampa and suddenly you're thinking, wait, I spent how much and where's my yard? Like, congratulations on your adorable house and your charming tree-lined streets. You also now park 6 inches from your neighbor and you may or may not own a backyard. Meanwhile, in Land O'Lakes, what's going on? That same buyer is often getting significantly more space. So let me give you a real example. If your budget is around the mid to upper 400s in Land O'Lakes, you're often looking somewhere around 2,200 to 3,000 square feet for newer construction or newish construction. Multiple bedrooms, a garage, community amenities, and maybe a loft or an office, a preserved lot with a bigger backyard, depending on the community, sometimes even more than that. Move to on that same budget closer to Tampa, you are definitely going to lose the square footage. You're also going to lose lot size. You're also going to have an older age of home, all 3. So now you start getting into 600,000 and 700,000s in Land O'Lakes, and you can get some really beautiful homes. You'll have large floor plans. Most will have pools with 3-car garages. Some will be gated communities. Some will have water views like ponds full of alligators for sure. Big lanais, and honestly, that would cost more if you were 20 minutes closer to Tampa. And that's where buyers start paying attention because people relocating are constantly asking me, Jennifer, where do I get the most value? And Land O'Lakes becomes part of that conversation. Now, number 2, schools. And yes, I know, school conversations are nuanced, right? We're not all looking for the same thing. Everyone has different priorities. However, Land O'Lakes consistently attracts families because there are highly rated school options nearby and is a very family-friendly oriented place in many of the areas of the communities in Land O'Lakes. You've also got sports, you've got parks, you have community events, playgrounds, trails, dog parks, pools, neighborhoods where kids can still be outside riding their bikes. And honestly, that matters, especially if you're relocating and trying to build a community in your new town. So let's talk commute, because this is where people get tripped up. Land O'Lakes is not Tampa, and I mean that in a good way and in a reality check way. If you work downtown Tampa every day, you need to think through the commute and what your tolerance is for the commute. Because depending on where you're located and the traffic, you're realistically looking at maybe 35 to 55 minutes plus on your way in and out of work, sometimes more. And yes, State Route 54 can absolutely test your patience. I think we can all agree on that. Like, who designed the traffic timing on some of these roads? They definitely owe us an apology. But here's why people still choose it. Because many buyers tell me, I don't mind driving a little bit further if I get a better lifestyle and a better house. So that's the trade-off. More space, newer homes, great amenities, lower costs relative to closer Tampa neighborhoods. And at the cost of some commute times, some people, they're willing to do it. That trade-off works actually for a lot of people, especially remote workers, hybrid workers, families, or people who aren't commuting downtown every single day. Now, let's talk about the beaches, because people always ask me, well, how close are the beaches? Are they close? No, you are not 5 minutes from the beach. You need to stop lying to yourselves. This is not the Clearwater Beach life. You're probably looking at around 45 minutes to over an hour, depending on the beach and the traffic and the time of day. But here's the thing. Most people who live in Land O'Lakes aren't trying to live the beach life every day. They want the lifestyle life. They want the pool. They want the neighborhood amenities. They want some space. They want a golf cart community. They want walking trails. And then they want to take a weekend trip to the beach and access Tampa when they want it. Totally different vibe. Not wrong, just different. Now let's talk about the neighborhoods, because this is where Land O'Lakes gets really interesting. First, Bexley. Huge community. Bexley feels very lifestyle focused. They've got walking trails, dog trails, community events. It's got that coffee shop feel. There's a community pool. It's really attractive, newer homes. It feels polished but still livable. And people who want newer construction and community energy tend to love Bexley. And then there's Angeline. Okay, this one's fascinating because Angeline is not just another subdivision. It's really this master planned vision around wellness and innovation and trails and green spaces and smart homes that people are paying attention to. There's a new Spiros campus of the Moffitt Cancer Center nearby. This expansion is huge, very important. Not because I want to hide something, I'm never going to do that, but because economic development matters. The Moffitt Spiros project is projected to bring thousands of medical research, biotech, and life science jobs to all over the area. These are high-paying jobs, long-term investments, and people are relocating. So there's going to be demand, and that has an impact on the housing. And no, I'm not saying buying a house suddenly is going to make you a millionaire. Let's all calm down, pump the brakes. But when major employers move into the area, people do pay attention, especially smart relocation buyers. Then there's Ballantrae. Ballantrae gives people a lot of value. It's often slightly more established, a little bit older homes. It's still family friendly. It's got a great community feel. And sometimes buyers who don't necessarily want a brand new construction home love Ballantrae because it feels lived in. There's the trees. They've established the neighborhoods. There's different floor plans. Not everything looks the same. There's a little bit more character. And then there's what no one tells you. Land O'Lakes is not only master plan communities. There are also older pockets with bigger lots, mature trees, no HOA or low HOA situations, which can be a big deal for a lot of people. There's homes with personality, just a little bit of breathing room. And honestly, some relocation buyers are absolutely loving that, especially if they're moving from somewhere where everybody didn't live on top of each other. Now, here's the truth nobody wants to tell you. Land O'Lakes works really well for a certain kind of buyer. If you want walkability to nightlife, the urban energy, the downtown restaurants every night, South Tampa may be a better fit for you, or even St. Petersburg. If your dream is to wake up 5 minutes from the Gulf, you may need to look at Palm Harbor or Dunedin or the Clearwater area. But if you want a really good house, good schools, highly rated, strong community feel, and more space for your money, access to Tampa, and new construction options, established neighborhoods, and a lifestyle that feels suburban without feeling isolated, Land O'Lakes deserves to be on your list and close to the top. And after spending tonight at Spanky's Bar and Grill in Land O'Lakes, laughing through trivia with my son and some friends and watching locals who know each other, getting together, hanging out after work, I kind of get it. Because relocation is just never about the square footage. It's the lifestyle. It's the community. It's asking yourself, what do I want every day, my life to actually look like? And Land O'Lakes checks a lot of boxes for a lot of people. So if you're thinking about moving to the Tampa Bay and wondering whether Land O'Lakes may be a good fit for you or makes sense for your lifestyle, reach out. I'm happy to answer questions. Even if you're months away just trying to figure out the neighborhoods, I'm happy to be a resource. If you think of anything else you'd like me to discuss or any other neighborhoods that you want me to talk about, shoot me a private message or follow and like this YouTube. Thank you.